I'm finna do a motherfucking dance. Do the Starlink. Do the Starlink. Bro, nigga, do the Starlink. Pussy nigga, do the Starlink. Them niggas can't do FaceTime like us. Hey. Jesus, man. Hey, on everything, alright? I'm so high up, nigga, we over the clouds, you heard me? Look. Yo, this man was gonna know how to act when he got that FaceTime out. Nah. Glory though, morning glory. What it is, Monday morning? Yeah. What we doing today? How we turning up?
Rick Ross flew commercial this week.
Oh man, poor guy.
We ain't high like Rick Ross in the airport neither. It's all good. Head back to New York. Let's go next.
It didn't seem to me like he was hiding because he was taking a commercial flight. Rick Ross looked so depressed to be flying with y'all junkies.
Uncle Murder, you ain't never killed nothing. But what I want to do is give you and all your kids a free cleaning, free teeth cleaning. I know what 50 going to do right now. He may not be in the mood for this. You know, Daffy Joy.
Then put a wet towel over his head.
For the ones want to know where my jet at, I obviously didn't get the memo. It's being updated with Starlink. And I chose to fly commercial to Colombia to go party with Trick Daddy. When Ricky Rose takes flights, it's 6 digits. I'm going to get some mignon.
What kind of rich cut his own grass?
Just imagine if I had the chance to slap 50 Cent with this shit right here. Come get it, 50.
I'm deciding to your life up. Rick, I'm gonna your life up.
Is it common knowledge that you mow your own lawn?
I think everybody in Fayetteville, they kind of know when the weather's right and they see that big tractor out there.
You
like
got the tractor?
You're mowing your lawn.
Like a John Deere or something like that?
One time for John Deere.
Look at it. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass?
Got the one with the radio, the AC in it. I tinted the windows.
How many acres you mowing?
Man, I'm not even sure now. I believe close to 400. When I go out and mow the lawn, I had the homies with me too.
You trying to save money, nigga? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh? The AC broken in the...
So we got a bunch of other smaller tractors. So when they see the big one out, they know that's the boss.
Dude, that's the friendship I aspire to have.
No, that's the friendship.
All your homies on the weekend, like, yo, what y'all?
Yeah, let's cut the grass. No, that's some of the coolest shit ever.
50 Cent just cranked the heat up on Rick Ross, and this time it hit different. Ross got caught waiting at the gate for a commercial flight, and the internet didn't just react.
Rick Ross is clapping back at 50 Cent Uncle Murder, and he did not hold back. Fans are speculating this whole thing started after Uncle Murder posted a Instagram story featuring a viral post from X that showed what appeared to be Rick Ross waiting on a commercial flight at the airport. But it looks like Rick Ross wasn't too happy about this.
Fans are already connecting the dots, and it all traces back to Uncle Murda dropping an Instagram story featuring a viral post from X that showed Rick Ross apparently standing in line for a commercial flight. And Ross, he was not pleased about it. He came out and claimed it was purely his own decision.
I bought a whole C-Wing. For the ones who want to know where my jet at, it's being updated with Starlink. That's the $500,000 Wi-Fi. And I chose to fly commercial to Colombia to go party with Trick Daddy. But don't y'all ever look down on no young hustlers who, if they walking, if they riding a bicycle, don't you ever look down on no young hustlers going to get some money. I flew that for 20 years before I went and spent a 40 ball. Might have to buy me a wing at the Atlanta airport.
Ross take a shot at you a couple weeks ago about a girl that you're not even with no more.
We wearing Travis Scott's all week. Girl.
What is it with you and Ross that's just been going on for so long? Nothing else works for him outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me. It gets covered further. I get covered across the board. They get covered on the hip hop blog. It is what it is. And you watch because I have nothing else to say. You just see it happen periodically as it goes. You know, you see that big white elephant? That property he lives at? It costs more than the nightclubs. He's in the nightclubs. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why are you out there cutting your own grass? You're trying to save money, nigga? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh?
Ain't nothing wrong with cutting your grass.
Instead, he went straight online and started waving around documents he claimed exposed serious questions about Ross's financial situation, throwing nothing but...
A lot of people be saying 50 Cent is a bully, but listen, hear me out. So Rick Ross went on a podcast. He was on the podcast, Joe and Jada. Now during this podcast, Fat Joe got to talking about something, but Fat Joe ended up saying like, yeah, like a lot of these older rappers that's washed up and they ain't got no motion. Rick Ross busts out and say, yeah, like 50 Cent. And I guess Rick Ross had on this long ring on his finger, and I guess it's supposed to be worth $1 million. Now he in the podcast, but Fat Joe tell him like, nah, that ain't who I'm talking about. We ain't about to do that. You already know Jada Kiss, he over there just laughing. Then, next thing you know, Rick Ross like, yeah, I could just take this. If you imagine me smacking him with $1 million ring. And then Fat Joe tell him again, bro, you doing too much, you reaching, that's not what I'm talking about. You creating some shit that's not here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about 50 Cent. Next thing you know, he get to saying, yeah, what's the black motherfucker with the two-tone, his forehead a different color? Talking about Uncle Murder. But then when 50 Cent reply, y'all gonna say 50 Cent bullying. Y'all drop a comment, let me know what y'all thinking if y'all seen that.
In this video, we're diving deep into the documents 50 put out there, the bold claims that came flying after, and why people are now seriously asking whether Ross could be forced to let go of one of his most prized luxury properties. And it all exploded at record speed the moment that airport photo hit the internet. Social media grabbed it and ran like it was the big...
We ain't hiding like Rick Ross in the airport neither. It's all good. Heading back to New York. Let's go next.
It's so entertaining when you got with bad skin like Uncle Murder and who happy to be making cheeseburgers on the road, and then you got another going through trauma like 50, standing far back getting head from you and for 10 bands a month going through trauma. Curtis. You're so infatuated with my lifestyle.
Within minutes, memes, jokes, and heated debates were flooding every single platform all at once.
Make sure y'all stream that new T.I., man, that new T.I. shit. Right one, that shit on fire. Tip, we want to see them old schools at the car show. ATL, let Tip know after y'all stream that nigga new shit, that shit hot. I fuck with that. You heard me?
Damn, T.I. Damn, Tip. Send you to your mother like your father do. 50 Cent mom, died in a fire. He talking about how T.I. is linked up with God, and you, assuming 50 Cent, is running with demons, so the devil must be your father, send you to the... Damn.
But for Rick Ross, there's certain artists that it would say things about 50 Cent and that would generate their energy.
50 Cent had some huge records when he had the biggest producers and artists around him putting them together. That's why right now you can't make nothing.
The whole career has been based on it. So it's not surprised that they try to do that to continue the relevance. I'm looking going, good luck, because you're trying to sell a CD at the present moment and I'm not trying to sell music.
The second that picture started circulating, 50 Cent jumped on it immediately, throwing in his own commentary and keeping that rivalry burning hot. Ross eventually fired back at 50, Uncle Murda, and everyone else who was clowning him for standing in line with regular passengers instead of stepping off a private jet. He made it crystal clear he wasn't about to sit back and take the laughs quietly. But before Ross could even properly defend himself, the jokes were already coming from every single direction. Uncle Murda wasted zero time jumping in, posting a video of himself gliding through an airport on his way back to New York, using the whole moment as a direct shot at Ross for taking a commercial flight. And honestly, can you blame the internet for going crazy over this? But it didn't stop there. Drake's fanbase suddenly entered the chat and blew the story into a completely different orbit. Fans started pointing to lyrics from Drake's Iceman album that they believed were taking direct aim at Rick Ross and the larger-than-life image he spent years building. Now, whether those bars were actually connected to this airport moment, nobody can say for certain. But the internet didn't care about certain.
Drake, if you listening to this, homie, listen to me. My nigga, Shine. I don't wanna see you lose. No real nigga wanna see you lose. That ain't what nigga about. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't wanna see you lose. When I was the number one nigga in the rap game, I show niggas love.
Image is everything in hip-hop, especially when you've built your entire brand around wealth, power, and living at the very top. So when that airport photo dropped, it didn't just cause a laugh. It became the latest weapon in the long-running tension between Drake and Ross. Because for years, Ross has carried himself as a man who doesn't do ordinary. He's been publicly connected to a custom Gulfstream G550 private jet, and not just any version of it. According to Duncan Aviation, the aircraft was finished in glossy black and pearl gold with reflective gold lettering on the outside. Ross himself talked up that custom design publicly. So you can imagine exactly why the internet couldn't stop comparing that image to a man standing quietly in a commercial airport terminal.
What I want to let all hustlers know is regardless of what level you get to, the small-minded will still question your legitimacy. You could go from one franchise to damn near 50 restaurants. They'll still question, is this being done the right way? It's unfortunate as a black entrepreneur, but always look at the bright side. What you do is you make sure you take advantage of every opportunity you get. When they question your legitimacy, by the time they wake up, they're $500 million too late.
After that commercial flight photo exploded across social media, and people started openly questioning his finances, Ross didn't just type out a quick response and move on. He did something that made sure everybody stopped scrolling. He went live, straight from his private jet, making
Them niggas can't do FaceTime like us. Hey, on everything, though, right? I'm so high up, nigga, we over the clouds, you heard me?
Yo, this man was trying to know how to act when he got that face.
I'm finna do a motherfucking dance. Do the Starlink. Do the Starlink. Broke nigga, do the Starlink. Pussy nigga, do the Starlink. Look, right? I just released that, spin that remix. Yeah, I mean, on that Starlink vibe. You like any salad? They say health is wealth. I know y'all be taking pictures before and after. You gotta go live now, Rose. They say, go spend that 700. Yeah, spend them 600 bucks.
During the live stream, Ross wasted no time showing off every inch of that aircraft. He explained it had just been upgraded, and the big flex. Starlink internet was now fully installed on board, letting him stream live without a single drop in connection while flying thousands of feet up in the air. Crystal clear, smooth the whole way through. And while fans poured into the comments in real time, Ross used that
Welcome to my Houston crib. All this one-on-one custom made. This is my light up table right here. Chandeliers. I wanted that light up section right there. You know, this is how we do it. Biggest, the boat.
Where is Rick Ross getting all of this money?
You call it the promised land?
It's the promised
land.
300 acres, 60,000 square feet.
It's a project. It's bigger than the projects.
Oh, it's
three projects.
Enormous.
And a couple of football fields.
At the town.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I'm sorry, it's a hood analyzation, but that's how I'm thinking about it.
It's beyond motivating.
Right.
It's beyond motivating.
Yes. Oh, man. Do we make some noise for that?
Yeah.
We make some noise for that?
And when I walked in there, I told the lady, this is my house. The real estate agent was like, what do you mean?
He laughed it off, swept the camera across the cabin, and made it clear that one airport photo didn't come close to telling the full story. The live stream took off instantly, clips getting reposted everywhere as fans split straight down the middle debating whether Ross had just delivered the perfect shutdown or whether he was trying just a little too hard to prove a point. And if that wasn't enough, Ross went directly at 50 Cent during the broadcast, making sure that long-running rivalry stayed hot.
I'ma let you know, 50, take it like a player. You had a child from a sex worker. I mean, she a sex worker. 50 said, let these people know you really admire me. You love my style, the way I dress, the money I get. And let them know that if you really could, you would put all this to the side to do business with me and work with me. It's the truth. I know it is. Hey, Curtis Jackson, you more than welcome to bring that Versace Lamborghini to the car show and your little homies. I know them niggas with them niggas, Auntie Murder. Yeah, I know you got a Toyota Tundra. I know it. I can see it in your face.
Grinning straight into the camera, he joked that while certain people were busy online counting somebody else's money, he was sitting back thousands of feet in the air with lightning-fast internet and a fully customized jet beneath him. He kept panning the camera around different parts of the aircraft, almost like he was daring 50 to come back with something, and his supporters ate it up. To them, that live stream was all the proof they needed that the financial rumors were nothing but noise. But the critics, they weren't buying it. They argued the whole broadcast felt less like confidence and more like damage control after that commercial flight photo had done its damage. Here's the thing though, whether you believed Ross or not, the strategy worked. Because suddenly nobody was talking about just the airport anymore. The conversation flipped completely toward the private jet, the Starlink upgrade, and the latest chapter in one of hip-hop's most entertaining rivalries in years. So which side are you on? Did Ross kill the rumors or just add more fuel to the fire? Either way, one thing was crystal clear. This battle between Ross and 50 was nowhere near finished, and 50 proved that almost immediately. He came back, and as you'd expect, he was not impressed by the live stream. Not even slightly. Instead of engaging with the Jet Flex or the Starlink upgrade, 50 dragged the conversation straight back to where it started, that commercial flight photo. He made it clear that one live stream wasn't enough to erase the questions the internet was already asking. The posts kept coming, sharp, fast, and they spread everywhere instantly. Fans from both camps flooded the comments. One side saying Ross had proved his point, and the other side saying 50 was simply doing what he does best, keeping people talking and sharing every single...
Rose, the history with you and 50, is it better now? You guys now friends? Like, do you guys talk now, or is it still no relationship?
Nah, homie, Wash. We've never been cool.
From day one?
No.
This is a big business you guys are a part of. You guys are two of the heavyweights in the business.
I mean, what is there to talk about?
A lot of things to talk about. History, the beef.
What kind of history? That he couldn't dress? That's all I used to tell him. Yo, you can't dress. You're not really getting no money. You don't own your masters. Eminem saved you. Dr. Dre saved you. All the big names. Rose did it himself. Came in through slip and slide. I had to build this myself. And I'm not speaking down on him because he live in a 2-bedroom apartment, but
he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom. Catch the alley hoop now. You got him one by Yama, this bitch.
2-bedroom apartment.
Yes, he does. And if he does, what does that say about him? Come on now. Just the alley hoop. Come on now. What does it say about him?
You're saying 50 lives in the 2. He just did a big documentary on Diddy that blew up. It was a #1 documentary for like weeks.
They just use him. They'll put his name on there, give him 10K, and that's it. He don't own any of that.
Just like that, the rivalry shot straight back to the top of every trending page. Every new post triggered another wave of reactions, fresh memes, and debates that just kept going. Some people cheered Ross for stepping up and showing out with confidence. Others argued the whole back and forth had stopped being about money or success a long time ago and was now purely about who could win the internet on any given day. But here's what nobody could argue with. Both of these men had the full attention.
Anything about Ross and his career that you'd have any respect for?
Oh, no, there's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
So there's going to be some diss tracks at some people in the album that's coming out. Some names will be called out in the album that's coming out.
It's a good chance.
It's a good chance.
Yeah, it's a good chance.
Is there going to be like a Leroy in there, Bruce Leroy type of thing, or no?
Oh, that was a nice alley-oop right there. 50 Cent, you saw he threw me the alley-oop about your son. Yeah.
That's a nickname.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
That should be a song title.
Could it be?
Might not be too. It might not be too late. It might not, man.
As the clips kept circulating, fans started drawing comparisons to every other public clash these two have had over the years. And honestly, that's the thing about this rivalry. Just when it looks like the heat is finally dying down, one single moment drags it right back into the center of everything.
He's no longer valuable in the music arena.
Yeah.
Maybe before I would wake up in the morning and on him and say something just to turn up the little vibe. You know, I'm gonna post some new shoes I got later. Let me call him the monkey he is, you know, and that's what it was. You know, I'm a real dude. 50 Cent had some huge records when he had the biggest producers and artists around him putting them together. That's why right now he can't make nothing.
Niggas think that it's an opportunity to create energy or like a excitement for the actual release of a record. And I understand that it may be more attention than you usually get, but it'll be the kind of attention that when it goes away, you go away. The company, the system might actually feel like it's a good idea for the moment until they realize that I won't stop. There's nobody in control of me. I'm deciding to fuck your life up. Rick, bro, I'm gonna fuck your life up for fun. This is not new. I do this all the time.
The commercial flight Feud, the private jet live stream, and the relentless social media posts all dropped another explosive chapter into a feud that just refuses to die. Ross supporters argued that even successful people hop on commercial flights for practical reasons, and that one airport snapshot shouldn't be used to judge anybody's financial situation. But 50's camp saw it completely differently. That photo opened a door, and 50 kicked it wide open. Especially because Ross had spent years selling the world on a lifestyle dripping in luxury and wealth. No matter which side you stood on, the internet did exactly what the internet always does. It turned every post, every live stream, and every clap back into the next trending moment. And with both artists being the type to never let criticism slide, nobody seriously expected this to cool down anytime soon. For someone who has spent the better part of 2 decades being associated with private jets and high-end living, seeing Ross standing at a commercial gate hit different. He's been publicly connected to a custom Gulfstream G550 for years. So that airport photo stood out immediately because it clashed hard with the image fans had grown used to seeing. And the timing made it even worse. His private jet had already made headlines after an incident back in 2024. And during his public war with Drake, Ross even cracked a joke blaming Drake for the bad luck surrounding the aircraft. Whether fans took that seriously or laughed it off, it became another unforgettable moment in that rivalry. So when the commercial flight photo surfaced on top of all that, the internet was ready and waiting. Memes flooded in, theories started flying, debates broke out on every platform, and then 50 Cent stepped into the room. He didn't just joke about the airport sighting and move on either. Through Instagram, he connected it directly to posts he had already been making about Ross, adding an entirely new layer to their ongoing online war. Ross fired back through his own Instagram stories, making it absolutely clear he wasn't going to stay quiet while the internet ran wild. What had begun as a single airport photo was now snowballing into one of the biggest chapters in hip-hop's longest-running rivalry, with both men pouring more fuel on it every single time they posted something new. And then it got even more personal. 50 shared a viral yacht clip featuring Ross and used it to take fresh shots at his rival. Ross came back swinging, directing comments at both 50 and Uncle Murda. At one point, Ross looked into the camera and said straight up, "Take it like a player," before going even deeper with personal remarks aimed directly at 50 and people in his circle. Those words spread across social media instantly. And rather than slowing things down, every single response seemed to generate a brand new wave of headlines. So let me ask you directly, who do you think was winning this exchange? Drop your answer in the comments right now. More than anything else, that airport photo blew up the way it did because it appeared to crash directly into the image Ross has spent nearly 20 years constructing. The biggest boss, that's the brand. Expensive homes, luxury cars, designer everything, private jets, and a lifestyle that looked completely untouchable. Because that image had become so deeply tied to who Ross is as an artist, even one unexpected viral photo was enough to send the internet into a full meltdown. Supporters said flying commercial occasionally proves nothing about somebody's finances. Critics saw it as the perfect opening to question everything Ross had ever claimed about his lifestyle. That's exactly why this story grew way beyond one flight. It reached directly into the public perception of a brand Ross had carefully built across 2 decades. And once that conversation got started, there was no stopping it. Rick Ross didn't get to the top overnight either. Back in 2006, he grabbed the entire music industry by the throat with Hustlin', a record so powerful it triggered a full bidding war between major labels. He landed at Def Jam Recordings, and his debut album Port of Miami hit #1 on the Billboard 200 straight out of the gate. That wasn't luck. From day one, Ross built something instantly recognizable. That deep voice, that larger-than-life confidence, those constant references to wealth and winning. That formula connected with fans in a way very few artists have ever managed, and it helped him carve out a lane that was completely his own. The Biggest Boss wasn't just a nickname. It was a carefully built idea. The success kept stacking up. Multiple #1 albums on the Billboard charts. Maybach Music Group growing into one of the most recognized labels in hip-hop. Artists like Meek Mill and Gunplay strengthening that brand. Everything Ross touched carried the same message: confidence, ambition, expensive living, and an image that never shrunk. For years, that branding stayed remarkably consistent, and it made Ross one of the most recognizable names in modern rap. Are you starting to see why that airport photo hit so differently for someone with this kind of image? And it wasn't just music carrying that image forward. Ross reinforced it constantly through the way he lived publicly. Luxury cars, designer fashion, private jets, and massive properties all became part of the identity fans connected to him. He didn't just talk about wealth, he showed it. One of his most famous moves was purchasing boxing legend Evander Holyfield's iconic Georgia estate. A 109-room mansion that became one of the most talked-about celebrity homes in the entire country. And Ross being Ross, he didn't just live there. He turned it into a business opportunity, allowing major productions like Coming to America and Superfly to film on the property. That was the move of someone who saw big purchases as investments rather than just status symbols. He later pushed his real estate portfolio even further by picking up a mansion on Miami's exclusive Star Island, with reports claiming the deal was completed entirely in cash. Beyond property, his car collection speaks for itself. A Ferrari 488 Spider, Ferrari 458 Italia, Lamborghini Murcielago, and a Tesla Cybertruck all sitting in his world. Whether people admire that lifestyle or question parts of it, luxury has never left the center of the Rick Ross brand. And that's exactly why every viral moment involving his image pulls in massive attention every single time. So given all of that, it's not hard to understand why one airport photo set the internet on fire. When someone is known for private jets and sprawling estates, seeing them waiting to board a commercial flight naturally gets people talking. And that's the exact moment 50 Cent had been waiting for. He didn't treat it as a random travel decision. He treated it as ammunition, and honestly, should anyone be surprised? The history between these two runs deep. More than a decade of diss tracks, interviews, social media wars, and public exchanges that have made their feud one of the most entertaining in hip-hop history. Time after time, 50 has shown he knows how to wait for the right viral moment before making his move, then extending the conversation with posts that spread like wildfire. Ross once joked about buying 50's music catalog after clowning one of his concert tour. Their rivalry has touched music, business, public image, and straight-up personal competition, so that airport photo never felt like an isolated event. It was just the latest headline in a story that's been built, and the tension was already rising before that picture even appeared. In the weeks leading up to it, 50 had been posting about Ross regularly, including reacting to a viral yacht video that sparked all kinds of speculation about Ross's personal life. Ross later addressed those conversations on Instagram Live, explaining that the woman seen with him was Jasmine Kendrick, a realtor and content creator who had been publicly connected to him across various posts. Even before the airport story landed, both men were already trading shots. The viral photo just gave the whole thing another gear. Around the same time, Drake's ongoing issues with Ross were adding more heat from another direction, while Tony Yayo and Uncle Murda kept the jokes circulating on social media. Before long, multiple different online communities were all talking about the same story from completely different angles, turning one airport sighting into a massive debate about image, branding, and public perception. Ross fired back at 50's comments with personal remarks of his own, including references to people connected to 50's personal life, while also telling 50 to focus on himself instead of watching everybody else. Those exchanges went straight to the headlines. Whether fans believed 50 had found a crack in Ross's carefully constructed luxury image, or believed Ross had defended himself successfully, one thing became impossible to deny. This rivalry was not slowing down, and every new viral moment gave both men another stage to perform on in front of the entire internet. At the end of the day, this whole situation is a masterclass in how fast one photo can take over the internet. What started as a single airport sighting exploded into days of debates, memes, live streams, and responses pulling in 50 Cent, Rick Ross, Uncle Murda, Drake's fanbase, and millions of social media users all at once. Whether people believed the commercial flight meant something serious or simply saw it as a normal travel decision, the discussion grew massive because of the brand Ross had spent years building. When you position yourself as hip-hop's ultimate symbol of luxury for 2 decades, even the smallest moment that appears to contradict that image is guaranteed to stop the scroll. And at the same time, 50 Cent proved once again why he remains one of the sharpest and most dangerous trolls in the entire entertainment world. He took one viral moment and stretched it into another chapter of a rivalry that has been running for years. Both of these men know exactly how to keep people talking, and every single response seems to birth another round of reactions across every platform. Whether this latest chapter changes anybody's opinion, that's for the fans to decide. But one thing is absolutely certain. The moment either side posts something new, the whole cycle starts all over again. And Ross made sure to get the last word, at least for now. During that private jet live stream, he proudly showed viewers the aircraft was back and better than before, complete with Starlink internet that let him broadcast live from thousands of feet up without a single hiccup. He laughed at the criticism. He joked about the airport photo. He took another direct swing at 50 Cent, suggesting the internet had jumped to conclusions about his finances way too fast. The message was simple and loud. One commercial flight does not define his lifestyle, and he was still very much living exactly the way he wanted the world to see him. Whether viewers saw that live stream as the perfect comeback or just another entertaining round in a rivalry with no finish line, it gave everyone something fresh to debate. And now it's your turn. Do you think the commercial flight got blown completely out of proportion? Or did 50 Cent genuinely win this round? Drop your take in the comments right now. If this video had you locked in, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your people so you never miss the next big update on the hottest stories in hip-hop.